Hello everyone, you're welcome to class today. Today will be, in our last class we talked about how to convert from percentage to fractions. Today we'll be seeing percentages that have mixed numbers as percentage. Okay, so this is our questions. Let's start from the first one here, which we have 12 whole number 1 over 2%. As we have always been doing it, okay, what you do is simply write this as your numerator all of our percent, which is 100. Now, some people would simply transform this to an improper fraction. So we have 2 times 12, which will give you, okay, let's do it. 2 times 2 will give you 4. 2 times 1 will give you 2. And you add it to what is here, all over our numerator here, which is 2 over 100. Now this will give you 25 over 2 over 100. Now I want to achieve a single number. I want to get a single number here. So what do? I multiply both this and this by what is here, which is 2. So we say times 2 times 2. Right? I can still write it as 2 over 1. So 2 here we cancel out, 2 here 1. Then 5 times 1 will give me what? 25. 0 times 2 will give me 0. 0 times 2, 0. 2 times 1 also will give me my 2. So now I have 25 over 200. That is to say, 12 whole number 1 over 2% can be written in fraction as 25 over 200. But again, make sure that whatever your answer is, it is in its simplest form or its lowest term. Now I'll check what number can go into 25 and 200. What number? This last digit here is 5, last digit here is 0. That is, 5 can go into both of them without a remainder. So let's see, 25 divided by 5, 200 divided by 5. 25 into 5 will give us, 5 into 25 will give us 5. Alright, 5 into 2 cannot, because 2 is smaller than 5. So 5 into 20 will give us 4. 5 into 0 will give us 0. Can we divide further? I think so. 5 here will give us 1. 5 here will give us 8. Why? Because 8 times 5 is 40. So we have 1 over 8 as our answer. 12 number 1 over 2% will give us 1 over 8 as our final answer. Okay? Now, let's see our second example. Our second example is 1 whole number 1 over 8%. Using that same method, I have 1 whole number 1 over 8 all over 100. Now again, I take this, or I change this to an improper fraction. I have 8 times 1 is 8 plus my 1 on top, which will give me 9. I have 9 over 8 all over 100. Now, like we did in the last example, to achieve a single number here, what do? I multiply both this numerator and this denominator by number which is at the bottom of this fraction here. And number here is 8. So I can say 9 over 8 times 8, I can put over 1, all over 100 times 8. So that will give me, 8 will cancel out 8. So I have 9 times 1, which will give us 9 over 8 times 100 is what? 800. Can any number go into this 2 without a remainder? 3 can go into 9. 3 times 3 will give us 9. 9 times 1 will give us 9. But this is 80. This is an odd number, this is an even number. Okay, so I'll pick that as my final answer. No number can go into both of them without a remainder. So we have achieved this. Okay, for the first one, our answer was 1 over 8 for A. For B, our answer now is 9 over 800. Let's see C. Okay, C is 37 whole number 1 over 2. 37 whole number 1 over 2%. Now, like I told you earlier, there are different ways of solving this. So we have 37 whole number 1 over 2 all over 100. Now, what Now what do? I'll simply convert this to an improper fraction. Let's do it at the side here. I have 37 times 2. 2 times 7, 2 times 7 will give us 14. If I put my 4 down and I carry 1, 3 times 2 give us 6 plus my 1, 7. So 74 is what we have. 74 plus 1 will give us 75 over 2. Okay? All over 100. Okay, now having gotten this, what do? I want to achieve a single number as a numerator. So I'll simply multiply both the numerator, that's all the number, this whole number, this number. I simply multiply this by this 2 and also multiply this number 2 by 2. So I have times 2 over 1 times 2. If you like, root over 1 is the same thing. Okay, so now our 2 will cancel out 2. We're left with 75 times 1 will give us 75. 2 times 100 will give us 200. Now again, you can see that our last digit here is 5. Our last digit here is 0. That satisfies the law of divisibility by 5. Okay, for a number to be able to divide, for 5 to be able to divide a number without a remainder, that number should have 5 as its last digit or 0 as its last digit. Okay, so let's divide by 5. 75 divided by 5, 200 divided by 5. Let's see, we have 5 into 7, we have 1, remainder 2. Let's put it here faintly. Okay, this gives us 25. 5 into 25, what do I have? I'll have 5. Alright, that gives us 15. Now 5 into 2 cannot, because 2 is smaller than 5. But 5 into 20, I'll have 4. Now 5 into 0, I have 0. That gives us 15 over 40. Again, you can see that this law, these numbers rather, satisfy the law of divisibility by 5. This is 5 and this is 0. So 5 can also divide them. So let's see, divided by 5, 15 divided by 5, 40 divided by 5. 15 divided by 5 to give us what? 3. How did I know? 3 times 5 is 15. Or if you want to count out, you can simply count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to 15. But that will be time wasting. 3 over, now 40 divided by 5, I'll have 8. How did I know? 5 times 8 is 40. Okay, 5 times 8 is 40. So I'd say this is my final answer. Why? Because there's no number that can go into these two without a remainder. This is an odd number, this is an even number. Okay, so I'd say we have achieved our last term. We have achieved our last term, or the lowest term of this number. That is to say, 37 whole number 1 over 2% in fraction is 3 over 8. This is equal to this. Now, remember what we did earlier? We converted from fractions to percentages. Could you try it out? Try converting this to percentage and see if you get this. I assure you, you will be happy that you have gotten an answer. Okay, so this gives us this. Now I'll go by procedure again. Now when you have a number, or rather a percentage that has a mixed number fraction, what do? You simply convert that mixed number. First of all, convert it to an improper fraction. You can do that here or here, but I'd like to put it out inside first. Okay, we have 37 whole number 1 over 2%. Now what do? Remember that a percent is simply over 100. So say 37 whole number 1 over 2, it becomes our numerator, all over our denominator, which is a percent, which is 100. Alright, so we have 37 number 1 over 2 over 100. Now we cannot solve like this. What we should do is we change this to an improper fraction. That's our numerator I'm talking about. So how do you do this? You say 2 times 37 plus 1. 2 times 37, like we saw here, give us 74. Adding it to this one gives us what? 75 all over 2. 75 over 2 times over 100. We cannot work with it like that because we want to achieve a single number here. So what do? We multiply both this number here, which is 75 over 2, by 2, just to eliminate this 2, and also do the same for the bottom. If you do it for the top and you don't do it for the bottom, you have succeeded in creating another problem and your answer will not be correct. So whatever you are doing for the numerator, you should also do it for the denominator, so that at the end of the day you can achieve correct answer. Okay, I have 75 over 2 times 2 all over 100 times 2. Okay, now this 2 we cancel out this 2. We're now left with 75 over 100 times 2. Why? 75 times 1 will give us what? 75. 100 times 2 will give us 200. Now, this cannot be said to be our last term or lowest term or simplest form. Why? Because there's a number that can go into this and this. How did I know? The last digit here is 5 and the last digit here is 0. That satisfies the law of divisibility by 5. For a number to be able to be divisible by 5, that number should either have 5 or 0 as its last digit. Okay, so we have that here. So that's to say 5 can go into this and also 5 can go into this. So we have 75 divided by 5 and also 200 divided by 5. Let's see what we'll get. 5 into 7, we have 1, remainder 2. The 2, I simply put it here, this makes this 25. 5 into 25 will give us 5. So that our answer there is what? 15. 5 into 2 it cannot, because 2 is smaller than 5. So 5 into 20 gives us 4. 5 into 0 gives us 0. So we achieved 15 over 40. Again, it looks like this number here. How? Last digits here are 5 and 0. Last digits here are 5 and 0. So that gives me the assurance that my answer can be divided by 5. Okay? So 15 divided by 5, 40 again divided by 5. So 15 divided by 5 we have 3. 40 divided by 5 we have 8. How did I know? 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 8 is 40. Or you can simply count out. Counting it out from 1 to 15 or 1 to 40. But that will be wasting a lot of time. So at the end of the day, our answer for C was what? Or is what? 3 over 8. Do well to try to convert it to percentage, and you'll be sure to have this. Do not forget, please, to subscribe to our channel on Idiot Maths. If you are new here, please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you have subscribed, please leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you very much.